Anthony Bourdain once said, "There's a guy in my head, and all he wants to do is lay in bed all day long, smoke pot, and watch old movies and cartoons." My life is a series of stratagems to avoid and outwit that guy. Who is that guy for you, and what do you do to avoid him? I hate mornings. I don't like waking up. I don't like breakfast as a genre or activity. I don't see a good reason to be anywhere ever before 10 a.m. I started forcing myself to wake up early and go to the gym before work. And I hate it so much, but it makes me feel so goddamn good all day long. It's a shitty healthy dose of morning endorphins that stops me from getting sleepy after lunch, keeps me energized after work, get a better night's sleep. It sucks so much, and it sucks even more that it improves every aspect of my day, because now if I stop I know I'll just start having shitty bad days again, and it'll be my dumbass lazy fault with a simple fix. That guy wants to settle for anything out of fear of nothing better coming later. That guy is okay with the dead-end job, the abusive relationships, and no master's degree. I tell that guy it's never gotten me anywhere. It's the definition of stuck, and I have no intention of being stuck anymore. That guy's kicking my ass right now. I used to have a little sign on my desk that said the worst possible feeling is when the person you are meets the person you could have been. It was there to encourage to pursue my goals rather than procrastinate on games, Reddit, etc. I think it's time I dug that sign out again. The guy who wants to go streaking during the Super Bowl halftime show. I avoid him by remembering that prison is not a pleasant place to be. Bold of you to assume I avoid him. We came to an agreement and take turns occupying the same body. It's me from 5:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekdays. And he gets evenings, weekends and holidays. All that guy wants to do is do Reddit and play video games. I don't do anything to avoid him. He just wants to win the lottery and sit on his couch watching dark comedies, drinking until it kills him. I avoid this by remembering that my mother would be very sad if that happened, and that I want to love someone, like really be in love, at least one more time before I go. I have the exact same guy in my head. I quit smoking pot years ago, before I hit 30. I can still stay in bed all day on some days. What keeps me from doing it, having a 24 hours laying on my laptop too often, are commitments I've made to myself, friends, and employers. Back in the day, pot made it really easy to give up on those commitments. I miss pot, but I don't miss those times in general, which keeps me from going back. That guy is my ADHD. I probably have an extreme case where my meds, which are at high doses, hardly even work anymore. The best way I combat this urge to do something fun, play games, or goof off is to remove myself from any place of temptation. Cut it off before you get the thought of even doing something pleasurable. What I do is that I find empty classrooms at my college and study or do work in there. I will purposefully drive away from my home, which is full of games, food, fun, and comfort, to a classroom just so I don't get the urge, and even if I do, I've created a barrier that takes too much guilt and effort of driving back and doing something fun. I accept that she exists, and love her back to health. That girl is depression. She's definitely starting to kick my ass now. All she wants to do is lay in bed, self-harm, and cry. I take my medications and persevere, but it's difficult. I let her out and feed her once in a while. That way she lets me get on with my life. Don't you ever tame your demons, but always keep them on a leash. Arsonist's Lullaby. Hosier edit added link. The guy in my head not letting me lay in bed all day smoking pot and watching cartoons. Closes Pornhub. I don't know what you're talking about. That guy for me is someone who is constantly grumpy, never wants to get out of pajamas, and loves being drunk and high. To avoid said guy, I make a conscious effort to stay productive, motivate myself, and never drink alone. Holy shit, Anthony said that? Damn. I miss him even more. I just want a girl, for God's sake. Have to say, I am touched by Op's attentiveness to responses displaying distress. Wholesome. RuPaul call her the inner saboteur. It sounds cliché, but it's so true. And that guy never really goes away. You just have to learn to stay one step ahead. Why try to outwit and avoid that guy? My goal in life is to find a way to sustain the lifestyle that guy suggests. The only reason I even do any of that other ambitious stuff is so that I can do all the nothing I want. Bill Watterson wasn't exactly saying what Bourdain's head guy was, but he had a good middle ground philosophy between complete slacker and crazy Steve Jobs as a CEO mentality. That guy is me. Tried doing push-ups. Gave all the motivation I needed to get off my ass cause I was so pathetic. The one that wants to do something drastic to qualify for Social Security disability and then, jobless, lounge around all day drinking beer, watching whatever, and roaming around GTA 5 as I eat the government cheese. My guy wants to smoke weed and play guitar all day. It just happens to be my job, and I'm trying to turn it into an originals career now with a new band. I got tired of fighting him, so I just embraced the fucker. I'm a microbiology major, pre-med and all, but sometimes I really just want to stay at home and be a cute little housewife. I wanted to have 3 kids and be a tom mom. I love the idea, but I know I couldn't be truly happy with that. My guy just wants to sleep all fucking day. Oh, I am supposed to avoid him? Oof. Mine tells me to end it, and that even all the hurt that comes with it, that it's better to leave everyone and everything and start over. He just wants to start over. Started selling all my stuff to appease him. Me right now. I finally admitted this week I am depressed. Now I have to do something about poor Anthony Bourdain. Rest in peace. My guy doesn't want to bother being alive. I avoid him by positive thinking, recognizing mental distortions, therapy, and increasingly exercise. That guy for me is the same as his. Fuck. Son of a bitch gets nothing. All he wants to do is drink his life away. Hess already had 10 years of my life, he doesn't get a second more. Same guy. He wins most days, but I'm trying. So the guy gal in my head is kind of a depression-riddled monster. She tells me I'm worthless, useless, will never amount to anything. I go to therapy once a week to learn ways to outsmart her and prove her wrong. I don't think it will ever stop, but I'm learning ways to cope. Same thing as Tony described. I used to take lots of Adderall to chain that mofo down. He's what I call the devil, but really he's just depression and anxiety due to BS like existentialism. Anyways. Treat yourself well, even the demons. They're part of you too. True healing doesn't come from pills. I found that out the hard way. I've been recently dealing with a pretty tough breakup, one that I caused due to me not being mentally well. I decided to start going to therapy once a week, and I've been pushing myself out of bed every single morning to go for a 30 minutes run before work, and after work I hit them gym. I'm just trying to be a better person for myself and actually be happy with my life for once. I know things don't come overnight, but with progress I'll reach my goal eventually. If I have the will, multiple strategies work, including eating properly, exercising, meditation, talking to friends, talking to family, keeping clear priorities of what I want to do. Unfortunately, every now and then something trips everything up, and the will to outmaneuver the guy in my head isn't there. That guy is all the more persuasive when you feel like a, to quote Kyle Kinane, stripped bare toothless cog spinning freely and ineffectually in the working machine of society. I joined the army. Now that guy doesn't have much of a choice. That girl does a lot of partying and is a free bird flying, but this woman's kids keep her grounded and at home. The guy in my head just wants to eat junk food, play video games and jerk off all day long. I only avoid him by going to work, but on my days off it's a party. For me, that girl wants to be a stay-at-home mom who sells MLM and drinks a PSL with her jogging buddies, but I work, cook amazing meals and hunt BQAs. I know I wouldn't truly be happy if I gave up the empowerment of making my own money and truly enjoying the things I want. I am that guy a lot of the time. I used to be super productive and stress out over work. I think Bourdain may still be alive if he would have spent more time doing nothing instead of trying to catch the next thing all the time with strangers. That guy is a little kid who wants to play outside, eat delicious treats, and hide far, far away from people. That kid still thinks if we get in trouble and there's no telling if or why we are, someone will come and take away all the nice things in our life. My life is a haphazardly sketched idea to avoid staying that kid, and becoming a well-rounded, adequately socialized adult. Someday I might even take a risk. Who knows?